Hey Knights, and welcome back to Spiral Central, your source of Spiral Knights news. I'm your host, Kora. We've got an exciting episode ahead of us today. The judges have returned from the depths of the clockworks, and the official winners of the Storyboard the Return competition have finally been announced. We'll be covering the results, sharing Greyhaven's thoughts on community driven development, and taking a close look at the winning storyboard through an exclusive community spotlight with Ainogommon. After that, we'll do a quick check in on current events before finding out who'll be receiving this month's Cora's Care package. We're kicking off today with the official results of the Storyboard the Return competition, which were announced this past Monday, July 13th. The judges had the difficult task of choosing from 71 incredible community submissions from talented players across the Spiral Knights community. After much deliberation, the final winners have officially been selected. The grand prize winner is Ainogommon. Their submission earned them a prismatic feathered aura and their choice of any battle sprite. The runner-up is Fighting Polygon, who earned a gold feathered aura and their choice of a divine or shadow Dracon. The most impactful narrative award goes to Catset, who also earned a gold feathered aura and their choice of a divine or shadow Dracon. The most atmospheric award goes to Bleep My Name, who earned a gold feathered aura and their choice of a divine or shadow Dracon. And finally, Captain's choice goes to Little Bullet, who earned the same gold feathered aura and Dracon reward. A big congratulations to all of the winners, and thank you to everyone who took the time to take part. While the prizes are certainly a great reward for the winners, the Storyboard the Return competition represented something much bigger for Spiral Knights. Greyhavens explained that this event was part of a broader effort to revitalise Spiral Knights and strengthen the connection between the development team and the community. The team also shared that one of their upcoming focuses is refreshing the Spiral Knights Steam store page with new video content and other improvements. As they continue working to introduce the game to new players, Greyhavens emphasised that the best way to understand what resonates with new audiences is by listening to the community that already loves the game. According to Greyhavens, Ainogommon's winning submission, along with every entry submitted during the competition, was a perfect example of that community spirit. They were excited to see players not only supporting Spiral Knights, but actively helping shape its future. The most exciting part of community events isn't always the final result. It's the stories behind the people who create them. The Storyboard the Return competition gave players the opportunity to help shape the future of Spiral Knights, and today we're taking a closer look at one player's vision for the game's return. I reached out to Ainogommon to learn about the ideas behind the winning storyboard, the challenges that came with creating it, and what this moment means as a long-time member of the Spiral Knights community. Every creative project starts somewhere, but sometimes the finished product looks very different from where it began. When asked what the original idea for the storyboard looked like, Ainogommon explained that the first draft focused on experiencing Spiral Knights for the very first time. The concept centered around the classic opening experience, the crash site, a knight emerging from the escape pod and beginning their journey on Cradle. However, as the project developed, they felt that the idea didn't fully match the theme of return. Because of that, they changed the beginning and adjusted several panels to better represent what returning to Spiral Knights looked like. One of the questions I was most interested in was what Ainogommon considered the heart of his storyboard. The goal of the Storyboard the Return competition was to showcase what the community loves about Spiral Knights, a trailer that could remind existing players why they love the game while introducing new players to the world of Cradle. When looking back at his finished storyboard, Ainogommon explained that the one thing he refused to compromise on was his own vision of what makes Spiral Knights special. To him, Spiral Knights has always been about two things: the people you meet and the freedom to become whatever kind of knight you want. The game's social nature and customization options are what stood out most to him, and that philosophy became the foundation of his storyboard. Like most creative projects, not every idea survives into the final version. Ainogommon originally imagined something much more focused on action and movement, similar to an animated indie game trailer. However, with only 10 storyboard panels available, they moved away from an animatic style approach and instead focused on telling a stronger story within those limitations. One detail many viewers may have missed is that the knights themselves are quietly telling a story of their own. Ainogommon explained that the equipment changes between the knights are intentional. The story follows a group of players helping one another on their missions, with each knight representing a different type of player: a new player, a returning player, a casual player, and a veteran. Even their weapon choices help communicate their experience. What first appears to be a group of knights fighting together is actually a representation of the different journeys players experience throughout Spiral Knights. Of course, telling a story through still images comes with its own challenges. For Ainogommon, the most challenging sequence was Scene 8, where Lord Vanaduke slams his mace into the ground. The goal was to capture the motion and impact of the moment within a single panel. Despite the challenge, Ainogommon was happy with the final result. When asked what part of Spiral Knights' world deserves more attention in storytelling, Ainogommon pointed toward the Nine. The mysterious group of gremlins who operate beneath King Tinkinzar remain one of the more unexplored parts of Spiral Knights' lore. Outside of characters like Warmaster Sirius and Herex, much of that group remains unknown. Ainogommon believes expanding the Nine with future bosses or additional content could be an exciting direction for Spiral Knights. Of course, winning the competition wasn't just about receiving a prize. When asked what this moment meant personally, Ainogommon described it as an honour to leave a mark on a game they have loved for nearly half their life. They also expressed gratitude. The Grey Havens created an opportunity for the community to become part of Spiral Knights itself. I think that answer perfectly captures what this competition was really about. It wasn't simply about choosing a winner, it was about celebrating the creativity of a community that has continued supporting Spiral Knights for years. Before wrapping up, Ainogommon also wanted to recognise another creator from the competition. They gave a shout out to Ren, whose submission was actually their personal favourite. We'll include a link to Ren's work in the description for anyone who would like to check it out. Finally, Ainogommon had one message for the Spiral Knights community. Spiral Knights Revival, let's go. Give it a spark of life. A huge thank you to Ainogommon for taking the time to share the story behind their winning submission. Congratulations once again to every participant who entered the Storyboard the Return competition. Events like this are a reminder that the Spiral Knights community continues to be filled with talented creators, passionate players, and people who want to see Cradle continue to thrive. And if Greyhaven's comments are any indication, those community voices will continue playing an important role in shaping the future of Spiral Knights. Before we move on to current events, there was one update from Greyhavens this week. This week's update was delayed until July 17th, after the team discovered a crash related to the status symbol aura. Rather than releasing the patch with a known issue, they postponed it by a few days to include a fix. Alongside that fix, Greyhavens also made a few smaller changes. Forge prize boxes earned directly from the Forge, specifically 0-star, 1-star, and 2-star boxes, are now bound to the knight who receives them and can no longer be traded. They also increased the amount of time the game updater allows during validation and included several additional behind the scenes improvements. Next, let's take a quick look at what's happening in Spiral Knights. First, the Cataclysmic Confrontation event officially came to an end this past Monday, July 13th. Montague is still available in the Moorcroft Manor archives, but the limited time Shrouded Crest Shield is no longer obtainable. We really hope you were able to add one to your collection before the event concluded. Meanwhile, the Say Hollow to Summer promotion is still going strong. Hollow Knight prize boxes, status symbol auras, hologlyphs, and the light infantry armor sets are all still available through the billing page until July 27th, so there's still plenty of time to grab them before the promotion comes to an end. That brings us to the end of this week's briefing, but before we sign off, it's time for our very first Cora's Care package. If you're new here, every week one member of our community will receive a randomly selected item from this month's Care Package collection. The items available this month are appearing on screen now. To become eligible for future care packages, all you need to do is subscribe to the Spiral Central YouTube channel, join Cora's Com Unit, our official Discord server, then head over to the Introductions channel and introduce yourself to the community. After that, you'll be eligible for every future Cora's Care package drawing while you're part of Cora's Com Unit. And don't forget, everyone who joins Cora's Com Unit before Episode 5 releases will receive the exclusive Founding Night role. It's a permanent role reserved for the players helping build this community from the very beginning. And once Episode 5 goes live, it will be retired forever. It's time for Cora's Care Package. And this week's care package item is Shadow Rogue Light Cuirass. The package is ready to ship. Let's see who it's heading to. Congratulations to Fantasiac! I'll be reaching out to you shortly so we can get your care package delivered. If your name wasn't selected this week, don't worry. You're automatically eligible for next week's care package as long as you're still a member of Kora's comm unit. You can find the invite link to Kora's comm unit in the description below. Thank you all so much for the incredible support so far. Congratulations once again to all of our Storyboard the Return winners, and another huge congratulations to Ainogommon for an incredible submission. Good luck on your clockwork runs, stay safe nights, and I'll see you next Friday.